everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a interview slash discussion video slash podcast that I got to do a few weeks back. Now I got an email from a guy that lives in Brooklyn and he writes articles for this website. And he wanted to make an article about women in gaming. So it's a lot of questions that I guess any guy would like to ask a woman in gaming. I guess I can fill in that part. What? I'm really happy that he asked me to be in this interview and be a piece of his article to the website. And we decided to screen record this interview, like screen record. We called on Facebook, so I screen recorded my screen and he screen recorded his screen, and I sent everything over to him and he edited this very nicely together. So some of the questions, they are like, how do you feel about being a woman in gaming? Like, I'm doing a YouTube channel. How is the response? Does it matter if I'm male or female? Am I treated differently? Do people take me seriously? And how do I feel about like other girls? Let's say Twitch streamers, girl streamers, and how I feel about that, and like, you know, those girls that, you know, have perhaps not the main focus on the game, let's say. How I feel like that is affecting me and my work here at my channel. Do I think that people judge me from my looks? Because I repeatedly say in this interview that I can kind of see that my looks is not really stereotypical. That is a gamer, you know. She's into video games. It doesn't really look that way. Okay, so we talk about these subjects in this interview, and if it sounds interesting to you, you may watch the whole thing. It's about 1 hour long. You can get to know me a little more by watching this interview, and it is podcast friendly, so you can actually just listen to this interview in the background, because Jeremy, his name is Jeremy, he is starting off a new podcast, and this is the first podcast on his podcast. So he wanted to start off with a lot of controversy. So he asks me directly and uncensored questions about how it is for me to be a woman in gaming. Here we go.
Hey everyone. This is Jay the Gamer, and welcome to the very first Assassin Cast, a podcast series that runs parallel with my articles so that I can get a little bit more in depth with what I'm writing about. And the subject tonight happens to be women in gaming. Some might not agree with it, some maybe think it's controversial. We're going to find out, especially because I have a special guest that I got to interview on the subject, and she goes by the name of Irene from Ircha Gaming. I don't want to go too much in depth right now. Let's just go and get into it.
We got the wonderful Irene from Ircha Gaming
Hello.
to discuss a topic that is very controversial, and I'm so happy that I have you to discuss it with.
Yeah.
Because to be able to kick off my podcast with controversy,
That's good stuff.
good at.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so we're going to be talking about women in gaming, right?
Yeah.
So now, for everybody who doesn't know, I want to tell them a little bit about yourself.
Me? Yeah. My name is Irene, and I live in northern Norway. I have a little YouTube channel that I call Ircha Gaming, IRCHA Gaming. I've been doing gaming content for about 2 years, but I've had my YouTube channel for 10 years, so that
That's
is
crazy.
it. I cover a lot of Nintendo Switch content, and sometimes like other Nintendo stuff, and sometimes PlayStation stuff. It depends on stuff, but I have been playing video games all my life, and it is my biggest hobby in life. It's what I do. I love everything with video games. That is why I wanted to make a YouTube channel about video games. So that's what I do.
That's great. So what year did you start your channel?
Um, like technically 2006, but the way you know
Uh,
my format now that I am doing gaming videos, that is 2015, I would say. Yeah,
oh, okay.
kind
So
of.
like the gaming side of it is relatively new.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, obviously you've been collecting for a long time. I've watched your videos myself.
Oh,
I think you have a great channel.
thank you.
So I've noticed that a few videos you would talk about your childhood
Yeah.
and what exactly what exactly do you remember from your childhood when it comes to gaming?
Well, my dad has been working with the computers all his life. So when I was very little, like before I even had my memory, like before I was 4, I have a feeling that he put his children in front of the computer with like Windows 95, because I don't remember the first time that I played the computer, like DOS games, MS-DOS. So I kind of grew up on the computer playing MS-DOS games, and I can't believe this, but I've said so in a video that my dad even installed Doom 1 for us when we were small kids.
Oh,
Yeah, so I played Doom, and I played King's Quest a lot, and a lot of educational games were popular in the 90s,
oh, yeah.
on the computer. Yeah, so that is how it all really started for me. And then later I got a N64 and a Game Boy Advance, and I played Pokemon Silver and Super Mario 64, and uh, then it just kind of kicked
Mm,
off. It kicked off, yeah, for me.
I have pretty similar memories from my childhood actually too. I remember my dad, he's an electronic engineer. So he always is fixing all different types of electronics. And if he's watching it, thank you for, getting me started with gaming. One of my earliest memories was the Nintendo NES. I write about that in my articles all the time,
Mm,
Uh, I specifically remember when he brought home Wolfenstein 3D.
yeah.
It's almost like Doom, and the only difference is instead of killing aliens, you're killing Nazis.
Yeah.
And I remember he like brought it into my room, and at the time we only had one computer. It was like a little shitty computer, and he was like, set it up, and I was like, okay. I put the disc in, and it started to play, and then me and him were sitting there for like an hour, 2 hours, very quiet, and we were playing this game, and I remember it was so good, and he was getting super excited every time I would get really far in it. And my mother came in, and she's like, my dad's name is John. She goes, John, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, we're playing this game, and she saw me shooting Nazis and was like, that's not a good game for him to be playing. And then he was like, oh, okay. And he gets up and he was like, oh, come on, I want to show you something in the kitchen. And he left me in there playing.
Hmm.
So he kind of got her off my back, and that was like one of the earliest memories I particularly
Yeah,
remember.
I don't think my mom would have
So,
liked it if she saw that we were small kids playing Doom either, but she didn't like pay attention to what we played on the computer. So, um,
well, that's I mean, obviously that's something good. So I got some other questions here, obviously.
yes.
Let me see real quick. Um, One of the things we were talking about before we started recording is one of my questions are, do you think living in Norway limits your resources to collecting? And I think that's something you should maybe speak on.
Yeah, okay, I can say what I think about that. First of all, I don't view myself as a collector. I play games, and they happen to be on my shelf like after a while, because I never sell the games that I have bought and that I'm playing and have played. So yeah, I have a huge collection on my shelves. I definitely do, because I never sell them, like I said. But I'm not a collector. It's not like I buy a game and never play it. I buy the games that I think are interesting and that I want to play, and then I play it to death if I love it, and that is how it goes. But if I want to, like, if I have my eyes on something that is retro, I go on eBay and buy it, because Like I said, I live in a small city in northern Norway, and we have a GameStop, but that is current generation and kind of last generation kind of games. So if I want like Game Boy games or GameCube
Mm.
or N64 games, or something older like PlayStation 1, anything, I go on eBay, and I just gotta make sure that I type in PAL version so that it's compatible with
Yeah.
my system. So I have no problem with finding games. eBay is accessible, so. Um, that is good stuff. I don't feel
I'm
it's a problem.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sure it's pretty difficult. In your situation, even here in New York, we don't necessarily have a close store to go get retro gaming stuff. But like I was saying to you earlier, I think Facebook Marketplace would probably be something you'd be interested in because it's usually people that are just want to get rid of their old stuff and they live in the area. So it's a good idea to maybe look into. Um, so have you ever thought about venturing out of your area?
Um, like,
Maybe
do you mean moving
relocate.
or traveling?
Yeah, like maybe moving or relocating to maybe a more populated area or an area that has uh, maybe a
No.
bigger retro scene.
At the moment, no. I don't want to move from my city. I'm very happy where I'm living, and I like Norway. I love Norway, and this city is super nice. I grew up here, and I have like my friends and family and stuff here. So I don't want to ever move. I don't feel like it's a thing that I need to or want to. But traveling is definitely something that I want to do. Travel around and go to the United States and go to the retro conventions that I keep on watching videos about on YouTube. Yeah, like the retro gaming conventions in the United
Mm.
States. Definitely.
Well, you're always welcome here in the United States.
Thank you.
Um, Unfortunately, up here in New York, as we were talking about before, there really isn't no conventions. So whoever's listening to this that does the fucking conventions, please bring something to New York because we really don't ever have one. And being one of the biggest cities in the United States, you would think, you know, hey, let's have a convention there. But I don't think, I don't know, I don't really know what the reason is why they don't have one. And like I said, the closest one is Philadelphia, which is about a 3 hour drive.
Mm,
I'm not doing that.
mm.
So, you know, what are you going to do in that situation? But so, what normally? I mean, obviously, you said you're not really collecting. You're just picking up things that hold your attention or stuff that you're interested in when it comes to gaming. What are you normally looking for? Like, if you were looking through eBay, unfortunately, since you don't have a store, what is something you're looking for right now?
Right,
Maybe retro.
like right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I have enough games. Like I said that last year, the entire year. I said, "Oh my God, we have too many games. Too many games. I have so many games. I want to play them all. I want to really put down time and effort into the games. The games that I have, they really deserve time and effort. So, um, what kind of genre I'm into is like RPGs and life simulators and sometimes shooters and first-person shooters and like a lot of Nintendo stuff. Any generation Nintendo is where my passion lies, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like a Nintendo advocate. They should hire you.
Yeah.
So you can
Yes, they
start
should. They
doing
should
marketing.
totally hire me.
I mean, I've seen your most recent videos you're putting out about the Switch,
Yeah.
which is great, and we've been talking about it. I'm really waiting for Wolfenstein. You know,
Me too.
see if that's gonna pull me in to the Switch world. But you know, I think looking for those in particular, those particular genres is great. I mean, having a woman so into first-person shooters is a cool thing. That's something I can relate on. I love first-person shooters. I have a whole bunch of them sitting behind me that I haven't even got to, and I guess that's a big thing about collecting or getting into the scene is that you know a lot of the times you pick up these games with the best intentions, but you have so many pile up. You're like, shit,
Yeah,
I
that is
really
what I
don't.
mean. That is exactly what I mean. I have so many games. My backlog is massive. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have time to play half of them.
I'm very
So
happy with what I have now. Let's just say I don't feel the urge to get a lot of games that I don't own, because I know I will, like, later down the road, and I gotta make time to play all the games. I don't want games just collecting, like I said earlier, like just collecting them on the shelves. I wanna play all my games. That is where my passion lies, playing them, not collecting them.
You know what? It just hit me. Yeah, or you asked me earlier, what video did I come across of yours for the first time, and it just hit me.
Yeah.
I was watching one of Reggie's videos on the Neo Geo,
Oh.
and someone do a Neo Geo Pocket,
Yeah.
and that was the first video that I was listening to at work, and I was like, "Who is that talking?" You have a great voice. You should actually maybe get into radio. That'd be great.
Radio,
And
nice.
I mean, your voice in particular, the way you talk, I think would be great. And that's actually, I'm sorry, it just hit me now. I was like, oh yeah, that's the video.
Yeah.
Which was funny because in that particular video, you really have never even seen it. It just like, you were like, oh, this is the Neo Geo Pocket.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first impression video.
Yeah, it was funny that
I had no friends back in those days that had Neo Geo. It was all Nintendo and PlayStation here in the city, and that was kind of before the internet as well. So we got our information from the gang of friends that we had around the neighborhood. So yeah, no one had a Neo Geo Pocket Color. So
yeah, I mean, come to think about it, when I was growing up, I didn't really see it either. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Of course, right?
yeah.
Always in the middle of something.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so that threw my whole thought process off. Thank you very much, whoever that was. Okay. A lot of people are strictly in it for the money or an investment when it comes to gaming, retro gaming.
Yeah.
Pick up games to make a profit years later down the line. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that ship is sailed, if you know what I mean. You should have been collecting stuff 15 years ago and then sold it now when it's really trendy, if you know what I mean. I don't think you're going to make such a big profit from collecting sealed games now, like current games or sealed games in general. I'm kind of like a little against it, to be honest. Because I don't see the point, because there's never really a lot of money in it. And for me, I'm passionate about gaming, like playing the games. So when I see someone have a lot of sealed games on their shelves, like on YouTube, I'm thinking, why don't you just open it and play it? Why do you keep the game sealed? If you know what I mean. I just want people to play the games, not keep them like some treasure kind of stuff to collect to make money of later. I mean, there's other ways to make money.
Absolutely, there's a lot of things to invest in, and it's such a gamble. And it's one of the things that I wrote about in an upcoming article about PS3 collection. Like, I had an opportunity to buy Double Dragon 2. It was for the NES, complete in box, still sealed from the factory.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't want to talk prices because they fluctuate so much, but at the time, it was like around $220.
Yeah, sealed. Right? Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I was like, I had a great opportunity to buy it, but then when I started looking up the game itself, it was hard to see. It was hard for me to make that purchase because for my particular collection, $200 can go a long way.
Yeah, and you know that you can't open it because once you open it, the price drops, like the value.
And the price before, like a couple of months before, was I think it was like $189. So it's like, that is a pretty big drop to take a loss on. I mean, even if it was to rise later down the road, it's a pretty big drop to lose money on when I could spend that $200 on something else.
Yeah.
That goes far in my collection. So it's interesting. You know what? It's a good question to ask is, how do you feel about retro gaming as a trend?
Yeah.
People usually follow what's popular or the nostalgia they had when they were a kid. Do you think that it's going to die out or die down?
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Video gaming really got big, like late 80s and 90s, and has been big ever since. But I feel like for having a feeling of nostalgia, it has to be a certain amount of time to have passed, like 10 or 15 years, and then suddenly, if you think back, you feel nostalgic. It's not only games, it's like television shows and stuff, anything that reminds you of your childhood, I feel like. And now is the kind of time that it has passed 15, 20 years since we had, well, with most of us that are collecting or gaming, like retro stuff anyway, we are in our 30s perhaps, or late 20s, or like, I don't know. But now is the time that we feel nostalgic, and the retro scene, like collecting retro stuff, I feel like it kind of exploded 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago,
Yeah.
like now, recent
It
years
definitely,
anyway.
it definitely has increased. A lot of people
Yeah,
are
now it's really
playing
big.
higher end stuff.
Like the
You
retro
know, and it,
scene, the retro gaming things, I hadn't heard about it in 2005, let's say. That was before the explosion of popularity, I feel like. I could be wrong, but I think it has to do with the amount of time that has passed, and we feel nostalgic now, and we want to like go back there and relive our childhood, kind of. I don't know,
mm,
maybe.
no,
And if I think that it what was the next question? It was
oh,
if it's gonna
do
stay.
you think it's gonna die down or die out?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Like in 10 years, people will be nostalgic over the Wii and the Wii U.
Absolutely. I mean,
So
that's
it will
usually
be
how it
different,
goes.
and the people that are nostalgic about Super Nintendo, they will of course be older, like 50 years old. But I think it will grow depending on what you really grew up with as a kid. That is where
Mm,
the heart lies, if you know what I mean. I think
yeah.
so.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody always wants to get games or consoles that are, something that they had when they were younger and
Yeah,
they had a lot of happiness from.
yeah,
So
memories.
it's always gonna be like that. So I'm sure like 10 years down the road, it's gonna be something else. And that's why one of the articles I'm writing on, we were talking about last night, is PS3 collecting.
Yeah,
Like,
that will
is it
be
gonna,
a nostalgic thing in 10 years.
yeah, like, is it gonna hold weight, and how is it gonna be able to be collected and played later down the road? So I feel like that's a great article,
Yeah.
which is coming soon, I promise. um, so, I mean, you seem very genuine and passionate about gaming in general.
Thank you.
How do you feel about how do you feel about YouTube creators strictly in it for the money, that are just straight up putting these videos up that are only for money? That's their end game.
Oh,
I mean, they might have some passion,
I'm not gonna
but
lie. Not gonna lie. I don't like it.
really,
I guess I could say. Yeah, if you don't have passion for gaming, why would you make videos about it? Because I can kind of tell if someone is genuinely interested in what they're talking about or not. I can tell. I don't know if others can tell, but if I can tell, someone can tell. And if you make a video about, let's say, your example, unboxing a Nintendo Switch, and you're not a gamer, and you have like millions of views on that video, you can,
yeah, well,
I
we're
can
gonna get
kind of
into
tell
that.
if this person is into it or not. But
Well,
okay, I can see another point of the situation is that people gotta make money to live.
mhm. I mean, everybody needs to make their money. So, unfortunately, if that's the way they're doing it, hey, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
it's
more like,
okay, I guess, but I can always choose not to watch. It's always something that someone that want to watch that, but I'm just saying that I can tell, kind of. Um,
me too, absolutely. And, I feel like the reason it bothers us so much is because we have so much passion for it. So it's like, for somebody to
Maybe
be
it's
making
that, yeah.
money, off of something we're very passionate about, I guess we're not really happy
Yeah,
for them.
we want to defend it. I don't know.
Exactly. It's like you got that,
Yeah.
that thing in you that's like, oh, why is this person even on YouTube?
Yeah,
Okay, so
I'm not fond of that. When people are only out making gaming videos for money. It has to be some kind of passion behind it, or it's not genuine.
And
like.
you know, we're gonna get a little bit more in depth with those particular questions. You know, jumping ahead a little bit, but you know, one of the reasons I like your channel is because I never get the sense that you're scripting anything. You know, you're speaking about your passion. How do you think the men in gaming respond to it? You know, like maybe not so much people that are watching, but like I would say, you know, people that are making the same types of videos as you. How do you think they respond to your passion? Like, do you think they are supportive, or do you think you know, they maybe envy you?
Like other content creators or just men in general?
Maybe both.
Okay. First of all, I want to say no, I don't script my videos. Everything is one take and clipped around and edited. But I have a sort of book that I write down like words, simple words, just to keep track of what I have to cover in a video. So I write my video kind of, but only in words, not scripted. So that is why so much random stuff is happening in my videos, because that's how it is. But okay, men in general, I have to say that most of my viewers are men in their 30s, actually. Because I can see that in the statistics. I can never say that word. Statistics, analytics. Yeah, I can see that they are men. That is cool stuff. I don't mind. How they feel? What was the question again? How they feel? Well, I can say that I hope they like my content and that what I say have value.
Oh, absolutely. Like we were talking about before, I value your opinion.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because you talk so. You're welcome. Especially since you talk so passionately about it. I know that you're giving me the straight facts. So that's one of the reasons why I like watching your videos, and that I have you in the playlist while I'm doing a million things at work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, me particularly, I like that. I mean, you know, this is like a touchy subject because, like we were saying before, it's predominantly male hobby, maybe?
Yeah.
Is hobby the right word? I think hobby would be the right word.
Yeah, let's say hobby.
You know, so if it's predominantly male, you know, to see a woman and a strong woman that,
yeah,
you know, get in and do this and speak so passionately, you never know. Maybe some men are envious, especially people that are making content as well. You know,
like other YouTubers in the same kind of genre as my channel.
Exactly.
I don't think people should be envious because I'm a small channel still. But content-wise, I try and do my best, and I feel like we're all equal. So if the knowledge is strong, that is where it ultimately builds down to. Is if the content is good, and like I don't know, something like that.
Well, I feel like you put a lot of effort into your editing and the way your videos look. It looks very good, very professional. It holds weight up to the other people on YouTube.
Oh, thank you.
So it's like if they watch your video and you watch somebody else's video in the same genre, you're gonna get the same quality. So I feel like just because you don't have as many subscribers as maybe the next person, it's not, you know, it's not really too much of a difference. Like you're doing just as good as everybody else. So when I touched a little bit about the money that comes from YouTube, it's obviously not much at certain particular times. You know, most people have a Patreon and stuff like that to be able to get donations. But I see some of these women on YouTube, specifically in gaming, that have over 4 million views, and I don't know about you, there's something not right about it. Especially we were talking about this one particular chick, and if she ends up watching this, you know, by all means, send me an email. I'd like to hear the other side of the story. But if you're unboxing a Switch and you have 4 million views giving the generic facts, there's something just not right about it. So, like, how do you feel about the women in gaming doing videos and streaming strictly for the money? And I have written underneath my question, more specifically, I'm thinking of those girls on Twitch that will, take off all your clothes if I get a specific thing in the game. Like, how do you feel about,
I've heard
how
about
do you?
them, but I've never really watched girls stream games. I
Me neither, really,
Well,
to be honest.
maybe I've been looking around on Twitch a bit, but that is kind of another thing. I don't do streaming. I make videos like a concentrated 10 minutes of information and entertainment, I guess I could say. Streaming is more like you gotta invest 5 hours into one stream and you gotta do it, let's say, 5 times a week or more. It's more time consuming. But I mean, it's okay. As long as they at least play the game a little. I don't care, I guess I can say. But selling their sexuality, let's just say, that I feel like that is an insult to the games themselves, like the games.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like
Because
they're
there
using.
are other ways to, I mean, there are other sites if you want to show off your body, let's say, and make money off your body. That is fine, at least. I don't care about that because some girls are into that. It's okay. But if
There's a lot of
if you're on
people that do
Twitch,
modeling.
and if you are on the platform Twitch, you gotta play the games. That is, don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of them are playing. I think I've seen a video about like the top 10 most ridiculous things of these girls on Twitch. And, a lot of them are playing like Counter-Strike.
Yes, I know.
So it's like, they are playing the game, but it's like, I feel like they're using them being a pretty face to have all their subscribers and for them to make money. And it just seems like a lot of the times they're strictly all about the money.
Yeah, I wanna actually defend the men and the guys and defend them because somehow they can be tricked into donating because they get attention from a girl. I don't know, but I think I'm touching onto a subject here. I want to support the men that get tricked. If it is a pretty girl and she has and she plays on her own sexuality, let's say. I don't know how they do it, but they do it somehow and they make money. I feel kind of sorry for the men. If that makes sense, I don't know.
No, you're absolutely right.
Because
a lot of people, I don't mean to cut you off, but a lot of men that are in the gaming scene or that are about retro gaming, they might not be like, maybe if they're in their 30s, it's different. A lot of people have wives or girlfriends when they're getting older, but the younger guys, maybe they're not the best people at talking to women, and then they get an attention or they're in a chat or they're able to talk to them while they're streaming.
Yeah, they get a shout out and stuff like that.
So you're right. I do feel bad for those guys as well. I mean, there's other ways to get attention, guys.
Because if you donate to a, let's say, a girl that you find attractive, she will shout you out in the stream, and that makes the guy ultimately feel good. He feels good about it, and he want to continue doing it. And then he's broke, all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he thought it was exciting, let's say.
You make a very good point.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them too,
yeah.
Honestly. I feel like, it's easy to get tricked into that. And you know what? As I'm looking at this other question here, we kind of just put two questions into one. But since we're on the subject, at the end of this question says, don't get me wrong, guys want to see a pretty face. But how do you think those women like that affect your channel and what you do? Like, obviously we can't do anything about them taking candy from a baby. It's like they're taking these guys' monies hand over fist because they're able to. So how do you think those women affect your channel and what you do?
Actually, I want to correct my answer a little bit. And that is, girls do play games. Oh my god, they really do. But what I really meant is that when girls have very revealing and little clothes on, and you can kind of see where they're going, if you know what I mean. That is what I was meaning earlier by my answer. Not girls in general playing games. Oh my god. So
Yeah.
I'm defending girls
Uh,
that plays games. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If
But
women
but we were kind of touching on to if they are streaming with very revealing clothes and kind of have the game in a small window, like up in the
yeah,
corner of the stream, and have themselves popped up big and do that for hours so they don't play games. I mean, that is when it's wrong, kind of. And
absolutely.
your new
My
question
question
was
was,
what?
how does it affect your channel and what you do? You know, like those girls in particular.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I haven't really
Yeah,
thought about it. I have to be honest. I haven't thought about it. I do what I do, and I do what I gotta do. You know.
no, absolutely. And I honestly, I wouldn't even think into it because what you do is what you should be doing, and what they're doing is absolutely wrong. And if they're giving you a bad name, you know, big middle finger to them. You know, we don't want them giving you a bad name because you're very inspirational on the way you make your videos. So they should actually be taking notes on how you do it. You know, I never for once thought like, oh, this girl I'm watching from Norway, she is all about the money. She just wants you to watch her videos. I never get that feeling watching the videos. Whatever you're talking about is passionate and it's knowledgeable and you could follow along to exactly what you're saying. I get information from your videos, so it's good. And oh shit. Oh,
To be
in
honest,
particular,
I remember a time on YouTube where money was not a question. It wasn't something that you made off YouTube. You made content because you cared about the content. Money on YouTube, that is a new thing. It's only 2 years old, I think. It's
absolutely.
really new that you make money. I'm still surprised. Wow, we can actually make money off of this. This has always been a free kind of hobby that we do because we like it. So I'm still in that kind of mindset.
You know what? Matter of fact, last night we were talking about your guidebook video.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of the videos how I knew that you're not those type of women that are on the video streaming, you know, specifically for the money and stuff like that. And I love that video because I do the same thing. I collect guidebooks. Actually, I have one here. You're gonna laugh.
Okay.
It's actually arm's reach from me. Take a look at this. I have
Oh shit.
the guidebook, and it's in pretty rough shape on the cover. But oh, and for the people that are listening, I'm holding a Final Fantasy VII guidebook,
Hmm.
and the cover's in pretty bad shape, but the inside is just.
My guidebooks are in bad shape too because I used them.
I actually, it's a funny story. I got this for free, but you know, it's like when I read when I was listening to that in particular video, you know, that's how I knew you were very passionate about what you do, and I appreciate that because you know you see these women and what they're doing streaming. It's like I almost feel like they think we don't know, but we do know, you know, and uh, one of my next questions here is, how do you think those particular women? I'm sorry. Wait, what was I saying? Do you think you have a more difficult time getting subscribers to your channel because of those women? Like, do you think? I mean, obviously, you haven't really paid any mind to them, and it's not really a thought in your head. But do you think they affect the subscribers to your channel? Like, do you think some guys might, you know, be realizing this as well and maybe come across your channel and think the same thing? Maybe they don't subscribe.
It's like I'm a fake gamer because I'm a girl.
Well, not like a fake gamer, but like maybe because you know, you have your content, your videos, but like maybe if they just saw your face in the thumbnail, they might be like, oh, you know what, this is probably just the same thing as these other chicks, and they just maybe breeze over you. Do you think that
The first
that's
impression, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. I have blonde hair and stuff, and I use a lot of makeup. The stereotypical this kind of look doesn't really go together with, well, if you know what I mean. Stereotypical this kind of look doesn't really go together with gaming and being so passionate about gaming. I don't know. I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I hope that people don't judge me by first impression. I hope someone at least give me the chance to you know, if they watch a video of me, give me a chance and listen into what I have to say. That is what
I totally
my
agree,
channel
and
is
I
all
feel like
about. The content, the games. I'm just the person. I happen to be the person that that like these things. But you know, I also like hair and makeup. But on the other hand, guys that are into games and stuff, they can be into sports and cars, you know. And
yeah,
I'm into like hair and makeup on the side, like because I'm a girl and you know I'm a girl, you know. So I enjoy
well,
girly stuff as well. But at the same time, guys are into like I said, sports and cars and stuff.
yeah. So
We
you know
have
what?
a
I
lot of
I
hobbies.
feel like somebody's listening to us for the first time. I feel like they should definitely give your channel a chance. You're not that type of woman, and you know you should never let your looks get in the way of anything. I feel like you are doing what you do and you do it well. So we're gonna keep it at that.
Thank you
That
very
is
much.
respectful. Um, let me see. Where am I at here? Um, well, we went over this before. So you said that through your statistics, you know that you have more male subscribers than female.
Yep.
Um, I think that's good. I mean, you know, I would hope. I feel like you're very inspirational for women. Like more women should get into gaming because, you know, a lot of first-person shooters, yeah, they may be directed at males, but just like you like RPGs, a lot of women can get into
Oh
RPGs.
yeah,
You know,
definitely.
a lot of women like to read. You know, what's the difference? It's like now you're interacting while you read. I feel like that's good. So, like your channel, I'm happy that you're on the podcast. My first podcast, by
Yeah.
the way.
Thank you for having me. It's been it's cool. It's
You're
nice.
so welcome. You're always welcome to be on my podcast. That's for sure. My view is that women should be involved in gaming. You know what? When it comes to gaming, there's a little something for everyone. Do you think that the developers have women in mind when they create these elaborate games that take 20 to 60 hours to beat? Do you think it's specific to one or the other, or maybe that it's tailored to everybody? Like, do you?
I don't think women are like the first thing that they are thinking about. I think in the back of their mind, if they think about it or not, I think it's male men that they think about. I don't know, but I don't know what developers are thinking, to be
You know
honest.
what?
So.
Me neither. Who
Um,
knows what they're
but
thinking with
I don't
the.
think women. Now we're gonna make a really good Call of Duty for women. I don't think they are thinking that.
No,
I hope they are
absolutely.
thinking, let's make a good game. Like let's put our good work into
Something
this
that
game. Yeah.
everybody could want to play.
Yeah.
You know.
I know
And,
Nintendo is thinking about everyone. They have said
yeah.
so numerous times. Like they're thinking about your grandparents, getting them into gaming, and your kids, and yourself, and your wife. That is kind of Nintendo's way of doing things. That is
You know,
good. That's
that's
cool.
pretty crazy that they want everybody in your house
Yeah,
in front of
yeah,
you
they really do. Yeah,
getting down on the Nintendo. You
yeah,
know,
I like
you know,
that.
I personally value your input when it comes to reviews and as well as others on YouTube. You know, it helps me be able to make decisions on purchasing things that I might want or I might want to look into.
Oh, thank you. That
Um,
is so cool to hear.
yeah, no, it definitely helps me a lot,
I will
especially
review
like,
Wolfenstein for the Switch when it comes out. I will
oh,
review it. Yeah.
oh, definitely have to because you know what's funny? As it came out this year, I was like looking for these YouTubers to like start speaking about it, and it's like nobody talked about it. Actually, I know Jason the Metal Jesus,
Hmm.
he had put up in his pickups with Reggie. I saw that video recently. Oh, I didn't see it. I was listening to it.
Yeah.
He actually mentioned the new Wolfenstein for the PS4,
Hmm.
and they were talking about it, but he didn't really talk about it because it's so very story driven.
Hmm.
So he didn't want to give any spoilers out, and I thought that was great. I was like, I'm glad he didn't say anything because I want to, you know, get through it. I have so many games to go through this. It's like, I want to get to that one though.
Did you watch my parody on Metal Jesus Rocks?
Oh my god, I was laughing on the train like an idiot. Actually, he's so funny. And what actually made me laugh the most after that video
Yeah.
was when I scrolled down to the comments.
Yeah.
He wrote, "Nailed it."
Yeah, I know, I know. I asked him before I posted it. I asked him in a message on Facebook, actually, Jason.
Yeah,
And
that's
he said
funny.
it was cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
It's good because you know what? It's good to joke about yourself every once in a while.
Yeah, it was
It
funny.
seems like you have a good sense of humor, so that's cool. What was I gonna say? Okay. Matter of fact, what I was getting into is, and obviously it helps me make decisions when I'm going to purchase games. So I'm glad that you're happy about that. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that it helps as well. But do you ever get the feeling like someone might not take it seriously from you because you're a woman? Like if you're explaining a game or you're being passionate about it, like, do you ever feel like, oh, what does she know?
Yeah, it is a thing. It definitely is a thing. I do believe so because it is, let's face it, a bit unusual, and my looks is like I said, not very stereotypical, like she knows her stuff kind of face going on. I don't know. I just hope not. I hope people give me a chance because
Absolutely.
like I said.
Absolutely. I feel like you have great content. And, like I said, I value your opinion and I'm sure it helps other people as well. So if they're not taking you serious, they should.
Yeah, I just hope so. I just hope so.
Just have a nice little talk with those people because I don't know what the hell they're on. All right. So I watched a bunch of your videos as well as being subscribed to your channel. So I know you dedicate a lot of hours to the games you play. So for me, anything positive or negative I take into consideration. So I just wanted to tell you that. And why do you think women in gaming is so controversial? Like why do we think that this is such a big deal? I feel like before you answer, I feel like it is controversial because men feel threatened, right? I think we had breezed on that. I don't know if I got to that question.
That was yeah, I can say that when you asked me to do this interview, you said specifically, this is a thing that no one wants to talk about, but I want to talk about it. I want to be the one, you said, to bring this up, talk about this,
Yeah.
because no one dares to talk about it. You said.
Yeah, it's just like I'm pretty sure no one's ever came up with the idea, or maybe no one really has the balls to have someone up on there.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, no one has the balls.
But you know what? For me, I like controversy, and I feel like what, women in gaming is controversial because men do feel threatened. At the end of the day, they don't want to have some women doing something better than they are.
Oh my God. I don't want them to be threatened, if you know what I mean. I don't want that. But if they are, I'm sorry. But it is what it is. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know what to answer to that. It's like, if you know what I mean, I just want to have it said that when I talk about games, I want to be treated like one of the guys, if you know what I mean. Like one of the guys kind of gal. I want to be treated like that.
Yeah, you want to just be equal. I mean, you're putting in just as much work as somebody else.
I want to be equal to them. Yeah, we're all equals, I feel like.
And that's kind of funny that we just said that because my next question is, most men hate losing. That's for sure. All right. So how do you think some men feel when you beat a game and they haven't even came close to finishing it? Like, there was one video that you did that you were like, it's going to take like, I don't know, 40 hours, you said. And you're like, yeah, you'll get there probably if you put the work in. And it's like, you obviously already beat it, So like, how do you think they feel like they can't even come close to finishing it? You think they have like a grudge, and maybe not so much a grudge, but it's the word I'm looking for. Maybe resentment.
If they have competitive feelings towards it, I don't know. I don't remember which game I said that about, but
I've been watching so many videos lately.
If you don't beat a game and so a girl beats the game, you shouldn't feel anything. You should just go and beat the game if you wanted to originally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're putting in just as much work as anybody else, like I just said. So, I wouldn't think that it would be a problem, but you never know. There might be someone that does feel that way, but you shouldn't. Right? We're just putting that out there. You should not. Um, so an interesting point of view is most men are collecting and spending time playing maybe 20, 30 hours, maybe 100 hours on a particular game that have problems. Oh, okay, this is a good one. I'm sorry. I totally botched up that question. I'm so sorry. Okay, so an interesting point of view is most men who are collecting and spending time playing 20 or 30 hours, maybe 100 hours on a particular game, have problems in their relationship with their significant other. You being a woman in gaming is like the opposite. Does it affect your relationship, or does it not? Like, is it affecting it at all where you're the person in the hot seat? Like, oh, why are you playing 20 hours of this game when we should be doing this, and then the third? Oh, we should be doing laundry or cleaning the house.
Oh,
Or
I don't play that much that it's affecting my social life or my chores or things I have to do with family and friends, like dinner plans and stuff like that, driving around, grocery shopping, other like relationship stuff. My gaming does not like destroy that because family and friends are always first, and I gotta like work out a little bit and do house things. What do you say? Like house chores. Yeah,
cleaning
yeah.
up and stuff like that.
But when it comes to like relationship, yeah, I have been living with my boyfriend for 3 years, and I am the gamer in the house. And whenever I buy a new game, I'm like, look at this game, look at this game. Please sit on the couch and look at this game with me. Play this game with me, and like forcing him to play, but he's just not interested. He's into guitars and making music, and he's into a lot of other stuff. So I'm not with a gamer actually, and I'm like, damn, I wish you were a gamer. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I do the same thing with my girlfriend. Actually, I'm always like, "Oh, babe, check this out. I just got like I'm playing. I told you earlier. I'm actually playing through Assassin's Creed Brotherhood right now. So it is like the biggest pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. It is such a pain in the ass.
That she's not interested.
And I was like, "Oh, look, babe, I just did this. I'm like, come take a look at this."
It's the same thing over here.
That's great. That's great. You know, like she kind of like blows it off.
Yeah.
But
I'm alone in my hobby. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody. It's funny that we go through the same thing. But some people have problems in their relationships because of gaming, and it's not so much that they're playing the games. Like some women think it's childish. I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten that previously before in another relationship. Some people just don't like the fact that you're putting so much time and effort and attention into it. And a lot of guys have issues with that. And that's another thing that really doesn't get talked about a lot as well, is the relationship. And I feel like it's interesting to ask you that because you're the opposite. So you're the female, you're the gamer, and it's interesting to hear your point of view on that and to hear that, it's not really affecting your relationship. That's great. But it's good to hear your point of view on it.
Yeah, my point of view is that gaming shouldn't come in the way of friends and family and chores and things you have to do, and sleep and like dinner plans and stuff, like normal life stuff with friends and family. And as long as it's not in the way of that, you can play as much as you want, if you know what I mean.
You hear that, ladies?
Yeah.
Let us play as much as we want, all right?
Yeah.
No.
Well, you can do whatever you want in your free time as long as you keep it balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be balanced.
Yeah, balance.
I feel like maybe you're giving so much attention to that, you're not really putting attention towards your relationship, and it should not be like that. They should always come first.
Yeah, friends and family always first. But games are very important as well.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, some people might not agree, but I totally
It's
agree.
The most fun thing in the world. Yeah.
So, so that was interesting to get your view on that, and it's funny to hear that we're going through the same stuff in certain situations. But now, on the other side of that, you being big in gaming and having 5,000-6,000 subscribers on YouTube, and constantly editing and making more videos, obtaining knowledge for your channel, does that affect your relationship?
No, it doesn't.
So you have a completely separate. So, I mean, do you work? Matter of fact, I forgot to ask you earlier. Do you have a job, or is this like your job?
I don't have a job at the moment, no. So this is my
No.
job, yeah.
So this is your job.
Yeah.
So you're doing it full time, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you're making, it's kind of like what you said with balance. You know, you're making sure that you're doing this and you're doing this. So you're doing your YouTube and you're doing your housework or family or spend time with your boyfriend. So it doesn't affect you, is what you're saying.
Yeah. No, not
That's
negatively,
great.
no.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing. You know, some people do have issues in their relationship from gaming, and unfortunately, we're never gonna figure out how to make that work. So until we find out, I mean, when I find out, I will definitely let everybody know how to make it work. But so far, it's not really doing that, and you're not gonna find something like that. But that's interesting to know that you're doing it full time. It's good that you're putting a lot of effort into your videos. I particularly like it, for sure. So to know that you're doing it full time means that there's going to be more content, and you're going to keep creating videos, which I think you should continue to do. I feel like you're on a good roll. What's funny was we were talking the other day, and we were talking about doing this interview, for instance, and you had just put up your Nintendo Switch. I think they released the games, right? What was that? What is it called? The Direct?
Yeah, Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it was funny that you sent me that link, and you were so on top of it, like that, boom, snap of a finger. You're like, hey, check this out. And it maybe had like a couple views. It probably had like 20 views. But you were so on top of it. And then the next day, I go on to my YouTube and I have all these notifications about the same thing. And it was like, you already did it. You did your video. It was
I tried to upload that video as fast as I could after the Nintendo Direct, because yeah, you gotta go fast when something new is hitting.
Yeah, at this point, I'm expecting you to, because you're like such a Switch advocate, which is great.
Yeah, I want to be a games announcer for the Switch, kind of. That is what I do with my channel now, kind of.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I feel like that was awesome. You know, you were on the ball, on top of getting that video out fast. So it's good to know that you're doing that, honestly. And I can't believe we've already been talking for 53 minutes so far. So that's a good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, obviously that I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing. I can't say it enough. And we're doing this interview. This is a good way for me to kick off my podcast, and I'm sure you're going to post up this interview as well. I'm actually going to be writing an article about this.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting for what else that I come up with, and you know, maybe I might have questions later on. We'll take care of that, but you know, hopefully everyone looks forward to that as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think I have any more questions up here. So. You want to tell everybody what you're playing right now?
Currently, I am trying to beat, and I play it every day, a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Nintendo Switch. And I'm loving it. It's a huge RPG, and it's everything I ever wanted with a RPG. It's excellent story and gameplay, and I love it. And I made a kind of video review of it, but obviously I haven't beaten the game, so it was more like a first impression / review. It's up on my channel, so I'm very happy with that video. Happy with the game. I'm gonna play it after this because it's Saturday and I'm just kicking back with games when it's a Saturday. So
me too. I do the same.
Yeah.
I might, you know, fire up the PS3 and get a little hungry with Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Because I need to do that.
Sounds good.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're liking that game. I would like to check it out as well. You know, I do like RPGs. I haven't been playing a lot of them lately, but I would like to. You know, I feel like those are a good thing for me to play while I'm on the train traveling to work. You know, because it kind of passes the time and it keeps you interested. You're constantly reading stuff. So I feel like that was a good thing for me to get into on the train. So, so that's good. I mean, I think that's about it.
Yeah. Thank you so
Yeah, I
much
don't
for
know.
having me. This was really cool. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
I was looking
You
forward
know,
to this interview. Yeah.
too, I was really happy that you got on board and you were the perfect person to ask. And honestly, I'm going to put it out there. If somebody who is a woman in gaming that I might have talked shit about, if you want to contact me to give your side of the story, by all means, I would interview you as well. But it probably wouldn't be as nice as I'm being to Irene.
Oh,
So
don't
I
say
might.
that. Don't scare
Uh,
them. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not. I'm not. I would keep a totally unbiased opinion until I write the article, and then I'll give my opinion later. So, what was I going to say? So obviously, you know, we're going to be looking forward to those things coming soon. Do you want to, you know, put your stuff out there for everybody? I mean, I'm sure people already know who you are, but you want to let them know where they can find you?
Yeah, I can be found on YouTube by the username IRCHA, Isha. Some people say Ircha or Ircha,
Yeah, I don't know why I got the. I don't know why I thought there was an R in there.
Irka.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's a Norwegian childhood nickname, so it doesn't make sense to anyone. It's just that. It's just gibberish stuff going on from Irene, Isha. So we say it like Isha, but Ircha or Irka, anything goes by this point. You know, anything goes. It's IRCHA Gaming on YouTube, so check me out if you're into checking me out. What? I don't know where that was going.
Check out Irene if you
Yeah.
want to see videos on the Nintendo Switch and as well as other videos. She has good ones on guidebooks and stuff of that nature.
A lot of stuff.
Very passionate about what you do, so you should definitely check her out on YouTube. She has Facebook and what else? I don't know. Maybe I'm missing one.
Oh, I have everything. Yeah, I have Twitter, Snapchat, freaking Facebook. I have everything. But basically, I want to promote my Twitter. Twitter is where I hang around and do my stuff. You know, post.
So go ahead. Let
stuff.
me know. What's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter is the same. IRCHA Gaming. In one word. Yeah.
So check her out and see what's going on.
Once again, I apologize for the quality of the video. You know, we had some pretty bad connection, but we definitely got the point across about what we were talking about. And I'm very happy that Irene took the time out to get on the podcast and talk with me, especially about women in gaming. I particularly love the fact that she does what she does. And listen, you know, I got more of these podcasts coming. That's a promise. So, you know, please subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you guys think. I mean, obviously, I know the quality isn't great, but there will definitely be more in the future. You know, it's a definitely learning process. Going from music to doing some of these videos is a little crazy for me, but thanks for watching, and I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Bye.